Okay, hello, my name is Leslie Williams and I am in San Diego, California. And just give me a second to pop up this video. And I'm aware I probably look a little bit funny to you right now, but I'm hiking in California. I'm saving for a mobile home. I'm in San Diego County. And today's date is exactly... Excuse me, please, I just got done eating a Pop-Tart. Today's date is August 4th, 2013, and the time is saying that it's 8:51 a.m. I'm in San Diego, California. My name is Leslie Williams, and just hold on, please, 1 second, because what I am starting to do is run a stopwatch while I make my videos, so I can keep an pretty much guesstimate, at least guesstimate time in reference to how long a video, how much the elapsed time is went by in reference to the videos that I'm making. I'm in San Diego, California. I just woke up about an hour ago, so I'm still a little bit congested. And I'm wearing this because lately here in San Diego County, it's been a little cold out. And now I'm hiking in California. I'm hiking in San Diego County. I'm saving for a mobile home. And the point and the reason why I'm making this particular video, and this video is going to have at least one, two, or maybe two additional videos that are going to be a part of a series. This is a video number 1 of that series. Video number 2, and possibly if there is a third one made, will be in the description of this YouTube video in reference to their YouTube titles. So you can copy and paste them into YouTube search box, hit enter, and as a result you'll be able to bring up the videos that are a continuation of this series. Okay, again, this is at least a 2-part video series, more than likely 3. And the reason why I make these videos is because I want fellow San Diegans, I want fellow Californians, fellow La Jollans, and fellow Americans to understand what is happening to me, so you can get a clearer picture concerning what is happening to my fellow targets. And the reason why I'm doing this is not only to keep me safe, excuse me, but it's also to expose the criminality that is involved in the types of crimes I'm experiencing, and also the employment descriptions that are involved, the places that have been used, the tactics and methods that have been used. So you can take what I state and research it in reference to the described statements, in reference to the methods and tactics of what is known as organized stalking, which can also be termed as gang stalking, even though gang stalking is not stalking by gangs. It's nothing but, literally, organized crime in the system. Now, to give you some information that you can take and use as a reference, a template of reference, if you choose to investigate these crimes, if you feel inclined to do so on the internet, is you can go to Google and type in a gang stalking tech. Everything you need to know. It's a manifesto of a manager of gang stalking crews, and in the manifesto it clearly states that this individual is literally stating that he is a manager of gang stalking, if you read it carefully. Now, in the same manifesto, it clearly talks about certain employment descriptions that are involved in gang stalking, like how they try to make sure that the right mayor gets put in office, one that is not too headstrong, who works around a mayor in order to be, or in a government position that can influence even a electoral process for a favorable outcome in reference to the selected mayor that they favor. That's government. That's individuals that are working in the government that are in play. Now, you can also look at how entire police departments have been taken over, which is stated in the manifesto. Doctors, judges, lawyers, firefighters. All of these kinds of descriptions are descriptions of individuals in the system. And this is not even beginning to include any statements that I have concerning experiences, educated knowledge from other targets' testimonies, blogs, and petitions, and YouTube videos. Educated knowledge when it comes to individuals, including journalists, who have investigated these crimes extensively, like Vic Livingston, who's being targeted in Pennsylvania. Yes, that is one individual you need to listen to. He's got some blogs online. They're targeting the hell out of him in Pennsylvania. Organized stalking and gang stalking is happening in every state in the United States, and it's also happening in other countries as well. And basically what it is, in part, is nothing but a template of protocols, methods, and tactics that they utilize against every single target. Now, some of the things that happen to one target might deviate just a little bit in reference to what might happen to another target, but understand this, please. What they do is operate on the same exact methods and templates of behaviors and protocols, and their criminal aspirations and motivations for a target are many, and they are heinous in their nature and felonious in reference to the penal codes that they're violating. They're also in total violation of human rights, civil rights, the Bill of Rights, the Constitution, like you would not believe. I'm in San Diego, California. My name is Leslie Williams, and what I'm going to do is I act a teeny bit goofy sometimes in my video. It's just, I don't know, the way I am, and I think it's my way of keeping my spirits up. Now, I'm just going to briefly make a statement about my living situation. You can go to Google, and once you start investigating organized stalking and gang stalking, you'll clearly be able to see that they can get landlords and property owners on board, postal employees on board to steal or delay your rent. They can rent apartments adjacent to a target, either above, below, or next to a targeted individual's apartment, in order to engage in non-stop harassment for a target to experience as they're in their apartment. They break into your apartment, move furniture around, steal items and then replace them on a later date. They will even literally poison a target's food. They will also drug a target's food with rohypnol and then come in and rape them. And if you don't believe that aspect of it, well, I want you to pay attention to this. Now, I want you to also, and what I mean by this is this audio file, this section of this audio file I'm about ready to transfer over to you right now. I have never been able to catch any syndicate, because this is syndicated organized crime in the system. And so I'm not saying that any description that I've described so far, and what you're going to hear from this audio file, this one segment of this particular audio file, I'm not saying that the whole entire FBI is involved in this crime. Of course not. That would be stupid for anybody to make that kind of a statement, because if every single person in the FBI, or every single law enforcement agency person, or every single person in the government, like in the mayor's office, or the employment descriptions that work around the mayor, if every single person was involved in the actual organized crime and benefiting from it, then they would be leaving too many breadcrumbs. Too many people would know too many things. And if you read the manifesto online, you'll literally even clearly be able to see that the syndicate itself is even sectioned into bureaus. So not too many people that are part of the syndicate even know the full scope of what's going on. That's right. I'm in San Diego, California. My name is Leslie Williams, but I will tell you this. The other day, I attended a third news conference concerning, I call them the Three Stooges, because if you had been at that news conference and seen these three people, you know, I'm not saying that they're not smart. I'm not saying that, I'm not going to sit back and make any type of moral judgment about what kind of people these people are, if they have any grounds to think or feel the way they do. I'm not here to make any statements against anybody's individual self-determination. I know better than that, and the reason why I say I know better than that is because organized stalking and gang stalking, one of their main objectives for targeted individuals is to literally commit what is known as menticide. So I have a huge respect for the human dignity, the human integrity, the human self-determination. So I am not ever, unless I am literally talking about a known perpetrator, ever going to make those kind of statements in reference to trying to devalidate somebody's purpose concerning what they might be doing. Okay, but if you were there, it's just like a common general statement. I just kind of refer to them as the Three Stooges because of the way they were acting. And it's not just my opinions either. I've read a lot of, excuse me one second please. I've read a lot of, because once this news coverage of the news conference was put online, on the newspapers and on the television stations, you can go and look at it and then read the transcripts concerning either what the people said at the news conference or what the reporters were saying about the news conference. And then once you scroll down, you can read the comments, okay, and how people in the community are commenting about what they read and saw. And a lot of them are basically, most of them were saying, I would never trust these three people with my tax dollars. Yeah, or help fund. It's just, you got to look at the comments. Some people are sticking up for these guys and saying Filner needs to be recalled, and a bunch of other ones are saying these guys are nothing but clowns. But anyways, again, I don't want to get off into that. I'm wasting too much time concerning that. But why did I bring it up? The reason why I brought it up is because as these Three Stooges, I call them, And if you think that's disrespectful, I'm sorry, but if you witnessed what was going on around me, concerning me, as I was there, then I would think that you would definitely conclude that that statement was apropos. Anyways, as I was at that news conference, I was literally standing 1 foot behind those 3 individuals with a shirt on. And that shirt is right here, and I'm just going to briefly show it because I'm already 9 minutes into this video and I haven't even started to begin to show you or explain to you what this video is about. But you know how, like, when you're talking and then you got to talk about the details and then you got to talk about the details of the details? This is the shirt I wore right here. Okay, it says I was sexually harassed by 2 San Diego sheriff officers in the Hall of Justice. Okay, will it be investigated? Honestly, okay, and then it says, where's my justice? Okay, now, the reason why I decided to get this shirt is because my name is Leslie Williams. I'm learning disabled, but make no mistake about it. I've been on my own since I was 17. I know how to take care of myself 100%. This homelessness was created by the organized stalking and gang stalking that was occurring towards me in Michigan. They literally stole my rent. After breaking in my apartment on several occasions, moving things around, they even had the audacity and the sick audacity to fold like 25 pairs of underwear in a specific way that was totally outside of the realm of the way I fold them. And that was a calling card to let me know that not only my privacy was violated as a result of them coming into my apartment, but to actually fold my underwear. Which, it was their way to attack your womanhood, to leave a sexual calling card. Yes, they took blinds off the windows and threw them on the floor. And I just recently bought a book called The Invisible Crime, written by Mike Fitzhugh. He was covered on Coast to Coast George Norrie Show, which is a national radio broadcast. It's actually a worldwide broadcast, okay? And it was covered on Coast to Coast on Valentine's Day 2013. And the individual that wrote the book. And so when I was listening to Coast, because I usually do every night, you know, I don't listen to every single show because sometimes their shows are a little bit not really, you know, my taste. But as I was listening to the show, and I realized that he was an organized stalking target because George Norrie introduced the subject matter for the night as being where he was going to cover electronic harassment targets. And 99% of organized stalking and gang stalking targets are organized stalking targets. Organized stalking is nothing but another name that it's the same exact crime as gang stalking. It's just 2 separate names for the same crime. And so what I did was I bought the book, The Invisible Crime, through Amazon. And then when the book came in and I read it, he literally states in the book that these individuals entered his apartment and took the blinds off the wall and threw them on the floor. Now, I had already had a blog online that was written way back in 2010 or 11 stating that's one of the things they did in my apartment. I have the proof I have right now is astronomical in its size, like having over 600 separate audio files that flat out show gang stalking happening around me. Literally. And in the second or third video, you're literally going to hear audio files of it happening around me in several places just yesterday in the same exact identical way. I'm in San Diego, California. My name is Leslie Williams, and the reason why I make this video is because, you know, these individuals, they got up for this news conference and they talked about recalling Mayor Filner because everybody's treating him as a result of the sexual allegations of him. They're basically morally making a judgment about this guy's behavior. And I don't know if he did it, and I don't know if he didn't do it. But I do know this. I'm going to give you a parable, an illustration really fast concerning the audacity concerning one of the methods and tactics of gang stalking. And this one's going to really stick in your craw if you care about what happens to innocent human beings. It doesn't have to be just a woman or a man. But just please hang on just 1 second. Now, I'm a little video shy, so I don't know exactly how I might be coming across to you right now. But I just want you to know that I'm a good woman. You know, I'm not involved in any illegal or criminal activity whatsoever. And I'm a little video shy. And since I'm a little learning disabled, and make no mistake about it, because the organized crime members... See, in part, one of the reasons why they target individuals is to attempt to take syndicated probate control of them in order to legally co-opt their finances, their property, to exploit their insurance, and to even exploit the target sexually once they're placed in an organized crime, syndicated run group home or other type of environment they control, in order to treat them like a straw person, and in order to sexually exploit them, human trafficking. I literally witnessed this before my eyes in Michigan. And you got to understand that organized stalking and gang stalking is happening in every state in the United States. There's several targeted individuals right now from San Diego County that are being targeted along with me. Miraj Shahan, Victoria Rose. I don't know if she's still in San Diego County. I think she might have moved down to Oregon, but she's got a PDF documentation file online right now. And let's see, now her documentation file might be hard to understand because there's technological resources that are being used to target her. And those technological resources, can they be found at the bottom of Freedom from Covert Harassment and Surveillance's homepage? The very, very bottom. Okay? Now, so anyways, I'm already 15 minutes into this 29-minute video, so I'm going to have to speed myself up here in reference to talking about why I made this particular video. But while I'm lighting my cigarette up, I'm going to mention a couple other targeted individuals that are known by name by me in San Diego. One second. Miraj Shahan, Sylvia L. Morales, Victoria Rose, Beth Donahue. I just recently found another targeted individual by stumbling across one of her YouTube videos the other day, and her first name is Bonnie. And she's got a blog. Her blogs and websites are in the description of her YouTube videos. I strongly suggest you go to YouTube. You can find her YouTube videos by going to YouTube and typing in "gang stalking San Diego Oceanside." Yes, and then her YouTube channel name, channel name has got Bonnie in it. Just look for it, you'll find it. Look at who's engaging in the gang stalking of her, law enforcement. I'm in San Diego, California. My name is Leslie Williams, and she's stating that the California Highway Patrol members and Oceanside Police Department officers are engaged in the gang stalking of her. And I've looked at her YouTube videos, and what she's stating in her videos and what she's stating in her website are gang stalking methods. Make no mistake about it. And if you can't make sense of it once you look at it, because, you know, she talks about color harassment, vehicle harassment, making sure that she notices them at entrances and exits. These are all gang stalking methods. And the only way you're going to be able to get a holistic pictorial representation, a picture in your mind concerning why this is being done to her, is to watch my videos, watch all the other targeted individuals' videos and blogs, and petitions that they state in reference to what's happening to them under petitions that they describe happening to them, and then cross-reference the information, synthesize it, and then as a result of cross-referencing and synthesizing, you will be scrutinizing their methods and tactics. And then you'll be able to formulate a holistic picture, a pictorial representation about what is happening to us. Now, without further abode, I want to just go ahead and transfer. Now, the next two videos, this is at least a 3-part video series, and the next two videos are going to be the meat and potatoes, in reference to you literally witnessing undisputable, in-your-face, audible proof that this crime is happening to me, just concerning a few tidbits of what happened to me yesterday along my routes. And what I predicted, what I experienced yesterday along all of my routes, I predicted at this hiking area yesterday in a video file. That's right. Now, I want you to listen to one aspect of the heinous nature of these crimes so you can understand this. And before I play this audio file, I'm going to backtrack for a second because I said that I was going to make a statement concerning the audacity behind these criminals. Recently, I think it was the first woman who came out concerning the Mayor of Filner sexual allegations. I think her last name is McCormick. I think she was the communications director for Filner, something along those lines. She stated that Filner tried to dance with her or something like that, and then she stated that on a separate occasion, or maybe the first one, or the same one, she stated that Mayor Filner suggested she did not show up to work with her panties on. Now, I want you to understand something. Say if this woman who experienced this was experiencing this by another public official that the powers to be wanted to be in office, in reference to, like, say if, actually I'm going to give another example, just bear with me, trust me, you'll be glad if, you know, this is going to enlighten your mind concerning the audacity behind these expeditions. That woman said that Mayor Filner basically told her not to come to work with her panties on. Now, when he said that to her, imagine him also saying, "Oh my God," or "crazy," or "weird," okay, or any other type of word that might seem peculiar in reference to the theme of what was going on as it was happening. Because this is one of the things that organized stalking, gang stalking expeditions do. They assault you, they'll rape you, they'll even rape you. And as the assault or rape is happening, they'll anchor in your mind words, phrases, physical gestures, and then get people along all of your routes every single day as a result of these individuals being in the system that have power positions in the system to connect with labor unions, fraternities, sororities, church groups. Yes. And then these people are told to lie about a target, and then they're told to be at a certain place the target's at to repeat these words and phrases that were mentioned as a traumatic event was occurring. So he told this woman, "Don't come to work with your panties on." So imagine him saying, "Oh my God," at the same time that happened, as she was experiencing this psychological traumatization as a result of the harassment. Then, everywhere she went on the next day, 2 or 3 or 4 or 30 or 60 or up to even 6 months, everywhere she went, people got along all of her routes and said panties and "oh my God," while also repeating certain things that were personal that she would only know, like private conversations she had on her cell phone. These are called the direct conversation method of organized stalking expeditions. Basically what they do is let you feel stalked and harassed as a result of sensitizing you to words, phrases, physical gestures, and even specific type of sounds, as crazy as that sounds. Yes. And then they basically just use duped community members to get along a target's path as a result of the stalking and tracking of a target to repeat these words, phrases, physical gestures, even specific ways of constantly moving your hands about in order to get your visual attention so you can witness the other things that have been anchored, that they have anchored in your mind that are directly connected to a traumatization. Now, I've already made sensitization videos, and what I'll do, the really good sensitization video that I made is the first video in a blog that I just recently posted about a month ago. And what I'll do is I'll put that sensitization blog in that the sensitization video in the description of this YouTube video so you can thoroughly understand why this is done. Basically what it is it's committing a crime which produces victimization and traumatization, and as the crime is occurring they will do certain things to anchor those things into that person's memory while they're being traumatized. And then basically what they'll do, and they do it deliberately, because then what they'll do is then just place different individuals in that person's surroundings every day to repeat the things that were done during the traumatization. It's called psychological battering and psychological harassment. That's right. Now I want you to listen to one of the heinous natures, and it's done to remind them that they're a victim of the crime, and it's done to remind them about the crime that they've already experienced. That's like, let me give you like a good example concerning that. Do you know how like when, say a woman or a young man is raped? Just hang on one second. Sorry I'm smoking, but I just woke up about an hour ago. And do you know how like when rape victims are raped and the police possibly caught the perpetrator, okay, and then a trial happens, how the judge and the prosecutor will try not to put the rape victim on the stand because they don't want the rape victim to relive the experience? Well, that's one of the main methods of gang stalking, is to not only traumatize a target, yeah, through assaults, rapes, specific types of even sexual harassment, but then to get around a target and remind them about it. That's right. Because they want to make the target feel victimized on a daily basis, every way and any way they can, by using people in the community that don't even know the whole gist, the holistic, they don't even know the gist of the matter of what they're doing. They're just told what to do and to get around the target to do it. They don't even know that it stems from a rape or an assault or has been associated to a heinous crime that is happening to a target. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to play you, excuse me one second. I'm going to go ahead right now and I'm going to play you a section of an audio file. Now, I mentioned the FBI in this particular video. I have never been able to prove that the FBI is involved in this crime, but I will tell you this. I was gang stalked as I was hiking right next door, 150, 60 feet away from the San Diego FBI building. Yes, I was. And there's older petitions online concerning that. The FBI is also mentioned in some of the email files that I made here in San Diego in a Point Loma library concerning me approaching them in Michigan as a result of what I was experiencing in Michigan. Now, you can go to Google and YouTube, excuse me, you can go to Google and type in the FBI and gang stalking and look at what comes up. My goal and my intention is not to make any implied, or applied statements that the FBI are behind the gang stalking of me, because I have no proof of that. So I'm not going to make any inflammatory statements concerning the factual reality. Concerning that they could be. Okay? But I want you to listen to this. And it's not the reason why I'm transferring this audio file over because the FBI are mentioning this. The reason why I'm transferring this segment of this audio file over to you in this video file is because of the heinous nature of what they did to this woman. Remember how I said that they will break into a person's apartment? Well, they won't only break into a person's apartment when they're sleeping. They'll do it when they're awake, too. Because what they'll do is enter the target's apartment and drug their food with rohypnol. That's right. And then they'll just wait, because they know when a target is not making no noise. In other words, they can know when a target is when the rohypnol has taken effect, because the target's not making no noise. So you might think to yourself, well, how can they know if a target's not making no noise in the privacy of their own apartment or home? Go to Google and YouTube and type in how they will set up voice-activated recorders and even cameras in a target's apartment in order to ascertain what the target is doing in their apartment. And if you extensively Google and YouTube that, well, just read the blogs and the things online concerning that. The individual that wrote the book, The Invisible Crime, talked about him being drugged with rohypnol and raped. That's right. The other book that I have in my backpack right now, and the statements in that book written by a post employee who's being gang stalked at work by fellow post employees, everything that's stated in that book, it fits to identical T what Victoria Rose here in San Diego County in reference to her documentation file. In other words, what's written in that book, which is titled Electronic Torture, Electronic Rape, Technology, and Gang Stalking at the Post Office, written by a Jewel, and I forgot the last name. What is described in that book is exactly described to a T by, now her name is escaping me, Victoria Rose, in her PDF file that she wrote here from being a target of this crime here in San Diego County. Two separate individuals, two separate states, totally and 100% describing the same exact type of crime that's happening to them. I strongly suggest you go to the very, very bottom of Freedom from Covert Harassment and Surveillance and look on the very, very bottom of their homepage for the 3 PDF links. The Phantom Touch is responsible for the electronic rape. Now, I can't get into the descriptions of how that is done, okay, but I just want you to listen to this right now. And listen carefully. Because what is in this concerning what they did to this woman is exactly what they tried to do to me. Listen carefully.
There has been instances where these people have actually broken in while the victim is aware. In San Antonio, there's three other couples and several single women that are being victimized by the same former FBI guy running a PI group now. One of them was lured to San Antonio from New York City. She was told online by someone that got on one of the victims' advocacy websites that she could come to San Antonio, there was affordable housing, and none of this was happening in San Antonio, that she'd be safe in San Antonio. They put her up in a seedy apartment complex. She's being drugged with rohypnol and raped on a daily basis and used as a sex slave. Her friends and family got a hold of me to find her. I did find her. We've got her actually in a rape crisis center where people can watch her now, but they definitely got her down there and had her in a